Many enthusiasts are saying that Candymonium will be the best B&M hyper and believe it could beat out the highly acclaimed Mako at SeaWorld Orlando. Although it could be a while until we ride it, we believe that it will be worth the wait. In today's video, we will be giving a deep analysis of Candymonium's layout and giving our opinions on what the ride experience will be like. Now before we get into it, we just wanted to let you know that all the footage was created and taken by us, so if you want to see the full videos that they are from, it will be linked in the description below.
So let's start naturally with the first drop. As you crest over the 210-foot tall coaster, it'll be a great opportunity for some airtime in the back row as you whip over the top of the chain lift. As you reach the bottom of the drop, it's going to feel pretty fast as you're gliding over the top of Spring Creek at 76 miles per hour. The coaster actually uses the creek really well throughout the ride layout, which is something that we think will definitely enhance the ride experience and has kind of been unnoticed by other enthusiasts. Then the train will pull up into the first airtime hill. You'll probably get some great floater air on top, the same type of airtime you'll get on many other hypers out there. Next, you'll once again dive down towards the creek, regain speed, and then make your way up into the Hammerhead Turn.
The Hammerhead Turn consists of a quick bank to the right and then left into an overbank, which is eventually straightened out into a short section of downward straight track. We think that the turn will provide some pretty decent positive G-forces as you are turning around the leftward banked end of the Hammerhead. We've also noticed this tower near the start of the turn, and our guess is that it might be the location of the photo section for the coaster. So following this turn, you'll be already heading back towards the station. The train will fly up into the second airtime hill, probably similar airtime to the first airtime hill. Then the train goes back down into a speed hill, which is a shorter airtime hill and stays low to the ground. Contrary to the first two airtime hills, we really think that this will be a moment of ejector airtime. According to our recreation, it should hit about negative 0.6 Gs, which isn't as strong as Skyrush, but it should feel closer to ejector than floater.
Following that pop of air, the train will enter a helix. You'll bank towards the right and begin to rise upwards. Then comes one of the most unique parts of the ride, which is this outward bank drop. We're thinking it'll give some stronger floater air as you go over this element, but this is one part of the ride we really cannot wait to experience for ourselves. After you reach the bottom of the outward banked hill, you'll enter the final airtime hill, which will more than likely be floater air. You'll bank left into this panoramic turn around the Kisses fountain. This will be a great spot to film the coaster or take pictures down below in that fountain circle. On the ride, it'll also be a pretty cool way to go around that fountain. It looks like it'll be really picturesque when it's finished. Finally, to end the ride out, you'll rise up, then go down into this small dip similar to the end of Skyrush, and then you'll hit the brake run, which leads into the last turn to the right, and you'll be on the final brake run, leading into the station. So those were our thoughts on the full layout of Candymonium, but there are a few aspects of the ride we wanted to share our opinions on.
We've seen and heard that many enthusiasts are worried about the trim brakes ruining the ride experience. These trims are built into the ride, so it won't kill the airtime. If you look at the second airtime hill, you can see that it is almost half the height of the first one. The trims will only hit if it's running too fast on a hot summer day, or even when it is colder in the early season. You will get consistent rides. This is due to the fact that the trims are used to make the train a certain speed and won't hit every time. We doubt that the many trim brakes will hinder your ride experience. You might feel them a little, but it shouldn't affect the airtime immensely.
Looking at our test run footage, you can see that this ride hauls. To us, it's actually pretty surprising considering that it had only been testing for 2 days prior to this footage we took. Now of course it is a B&M Hyper, so it isn't like it has rapid RMC transitions, but overall it looks to have some strong whip over the hills. There's not any point on the ride where it looks like it's crawling through the layout. The pacing looks to be consistent throughout the entirety of the ride, which is really exciting.
We have sort of hit this as we were going through the layout of the ride, but after all, the main purpose of a hyper is to provide some airtime. The coaster will primarily feature sustained floater airtime, with one main moment of sustained ejector on the speed hill, as we mentioned before. Overall, this will be a great contrast to Skyrush because it will provide longer durations of airtime than Skyrush's short but powerful pops of air. This will for sure be the airtime machine of the park. However, it won't be Skyrush for the most intense coaster. The bottom of all the hills provides some good positive Gs, around 4.5, but other spots like the helix around the Kiss Fountain will have lesser amount of Gs, probably around 2 to 3.
As you've probably have seen before, the trains on Candymonium have only 7 cars per train, while other B&M Hypers have 8. Personally, we don't think it'll affect the ride experience. However, it could hinder on capacity and the wait time for the ride. It may not seem like much that 4 seats on the train are gone, but over an hour of operation, that can make a big difference to the number of riders per hour. Plus, Hersheypark is a fairly popular park nowadays, bringing in huge crowds during the summer operating season. The 7-car trains might make the line even longer than it really needs to be. To counter this though, the entirety of the queue appears to be inside the station. This will be great for hot and humid summer days from late June to September if the line does get to be over an hour-long wait. The train length might not even make a noticeable effect on the wait time, but it's just something that we wanted to mention and keep in mind.
Overall, this ride will surely be a crowd pleaser, providing a comfortable and smooth experience, and it won't lack on the thrills. We think that enthusiasts will enjoy this coaster a lot, so we'll rank above many of the older hypers. We won't know for sure until we ride it. We feel confident that this ride will be a great addition to Hershey's coaster lineup.